to the Only One Mic podcast, Carl to Rob, Brooklyn Dre. J-Rob is in the building. How you doing, fellas?
What's good?
You.
What up?
All right. So, naturally, got to talk about Angel Reese, her whole controversy, and also Donald Trump has went to court today and has been indicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Fellas, we're going to go ahead and jump into this Donald Trump situation, all right? So just to give you some context on it, Donald Trump was today, would you say he turned himself in if he already knew that, you know what I mean, that he was getting banged up or what? Would you?
I guess because he actually did walk in there. Ain't like they came and got him.
The key word is walked because there was no handcuffs, no mugshot involved in this.
At all.
So,
Although I don't have no care for this whole political garbage anyway, but I would have liked to see him take that perp walk.
I think Donald Trump would have liked to see him take the perp walk. But I think it's one of those things that
anybody can get it.
They're like, nah, we're not even going to give him that much, power. I think they're more or less afraid that, stuff like that would kind of spark up his so-called base, which they're not going to act up in New York. New York is not Washington, D.C.
I'm gonna be honest. It was kind of anticlimactic for me. I actually was waiting for it to be set off. I was watching CNBC, like, let's get it.
Yeah, you thought the revolution was about to be televised.
Yeah,
Jay is all about the foolishness. I want to see some riots. I want to see some people get their heads put open. And guess what? The beauty of it all, I guess, is because it has nothing to do with us. This is not a Black Lives Matter situation, folks. So stand back and stand by. We have nothing to do with it.
Right. I was just watching a movie. Yeah. That's it.
I was watching it all day too, right? And the funny thing is, you ever looked at them police on the police line, man? They look like us, man.
They
ain't having it, man. They ain't having it, man.
No, this ain't DC. Because Mayor Adams told him, I'm paraphrasing, but in good old fashioned speak, you saying, don't come out here and act up.
Yeah. and if you do, we got something for you. I heard him this morning.
Yeah. It was all hands on deck. They had everybody out there, and you got people probably had the day off, man. Little cops had a day off, and it's like, you got to come in for this foolishness.
Give the Proud Boys an open invitation. Come on down there if you want to.
Yeah, you can if you want to. And I tell you what, it's not just a black thing or whatever.
No.
Get busy with you out there too.
Let me tell you, I told somebody at work, I said, it won't be the minorities or so-called minorities. It won't be us. It'll be them liberal white folk, man, that turn this into a whole different ball game, man.
Yeah.
I was waiting to see it. I really did want to see it. I almost feel like.
Did you feel cheated by the experience? Yes,
absolutely. Because they ran down on DC, and he wasn't even going to jail then. So they indicted him. They brought him up on charges. I expected his base to storm the building. I was really ready for that.
What's the name? You said the Wild. What's the group? The Wild Boys, is it? Or
the Proud Boys?
The Proud Boys. I guess the Proud Boys said, "Hey, nah, we're gonna miss that one right there."
Also, the fact
is
that
they really about it, or they just fronting?
Well, people
don't pump fake Proud Boys. We need to see it.
People actually went to prison over this. So they're like, "Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing." They learned. Now, if nobody went to prison the first time that happened in D.C., then you might have seen something.
So you mean to tell me the Proud Boys are scared of going to prison?
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh, man. That's what it's about, man.
What do you think? What they have out there? The mighty brother, Aryan brother?
Yeah.
You'll be welcome with open arms.
That's it. They waiting for you over there. They got you. For you.
I'm tired of seeing y'all protesting in Iowa and the Midwest and stuff like that. Come on down. Come on up north.
Nah.
Come up on north. see if you really mean what you're saying.
Right.
So yeah, he got hit with those 34 counts. It might be 34 and counting at this point because Alvin Bragg was kind of short on that press conference, to be quite honest with you. So what I'm gonna do is I'll play a clip from it. And then, you guys give me your analysis on this one, all right? So this was Alvin Bragg, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, speaking to reporters after charging Trump with 34 counts of basically fraud. Here we go, guys.
And now let's hear from the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg.
Here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned on a New York Supreme Court indictment returned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime. That is exactly what this case is about. 34 false statements made to cover up other crimes. These are felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. The defendant repeatedly made false statements on New York business records. He also caused others to make false statements. The defendant claimed that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. This simply was not true. And it was a false statement that the defendant made month after month in 2017. April, May, June, and so on through the rest of the year. For 9 straight months, the defendant held documents in his hand containing this key lie, that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed in 2017. And he personally signed checks for payments to Michael Cohen for each of these 9 months. In total, the grand jury found there were 34 documents with this critical false statement.
It really is ridiculous. I mean, it seems to me that anytime a man in that position decides to get himself a little trim, it's an issue. Just say it.
Andre, you could tell none of these people was from the street, man.
Oh, Jay.
Well,
I'm just saying, man. Like that's really what he cried about.
No,
the whole time he's sitting there, like he kept lying to us about paying that girl that money.
That girl, they didn't care nothing about that Stormy Daniels situation. That was just the door opening. Yeah, you think she's the only person that he probably paid for some situation?
But that from what I heard is he keep lying to us about what happened with that. The reason why that was going on. The money was exchanging hands, and we don't like it, so we want to prosecute you. This is really a ridiculous. Ridiculous the fact that they used the voters' money to do this. This is a waste of time, and I'm honestly upset about it. I can't believe that they're doing this. This is ridiculous.
I got to correct you, brother. He lied to them. I didn't vote.
Yeah, shout out to me. Again,
you already know where I stand with that. I was trying to act like I'm a citizen and give it to him like that. It's ridiculous.
I pride myself on being. I never had a voter's registration card, man. You're gonna get mad at me. Get mad at me. I don't care. Hey, but listen, it can't be from the street, man. Why would you give somebody $130,000 of hush money? You know what's going to happen when you give somebody $130,000 worth of hush money?
They're going to want more.
They're going to want more hush money. It's about the stupidest thing possible.
She's not the only one. I think she's the only one that made some noise.
Actually, it sounds like from that press conference that
we'd only played a portion of the press conference. Is it?
Yes, it sounds like from that press conference, he's kind of like insinuating that there's some more stuff and some more payments that was made off to different people. And I think they was trying to say allegedly that there might be another woman involved or something like that.
Well, a lot of the pundits were saying that this is not the only person. There might possibly be some more tapes out there with conversations. Of course, Fannie Willis is on his back too, for trying to bribe political official out there about getting more votes. And that was actually on record. Like he was on a phone call. They had the recordings of it. So they said that there's more recordings that's going to come out after this.
This is the thing. If he's being indicted, don't they have to show that as, reasoning to bring him up on these charges? They can't just hold that in their back pocket.
I think the story's fluid. I think they're going to have more stuff come out. That's probably what they just want to give the public today.
Well, what I do know from this is the bottom line to this: they just want to keep him from running. That's it. You know, I don't believe he's going to jail or anything like that. I think they just want him to keep him from running.
Well, I told you guys, man, this court, this trial, the next time he sees the inside of a courtroom will be in December of like next year. So that kind of gives you time to cast your ballot if you want to. And
it's ridiculous.
If he runs, according to a pundit, if he runs, that even if he's charged and, you know, he can still be president. And he will have to serve his prison term on a military base because he still has to have Secret Service as president. And he can still be president from prison, which would probably be the first time in American history that you have something like that. So, you know, they saying also that even if he goes to jail, he can still run. Which, if a felon can't vote, I don't understand how they can be president. But they were saying as long as you meet the requirements, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think one of the requirements is that you have to have like a squeaky clean prison record. Am I correct or no?
Here's the crazy thing about that is that if you are a prisoner or, you know, just been released from prison, you can't vote.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Not only can't you vote, you can't become a doctor. In some states, you can't become a lawyer and actually take the bar. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. I bet you it's only this case because Trump is a Caucasian. If Trump was a brother or a sister,
if it was Barack, this would be
it'd be a dumb deal. Period.
All right. So the Constitution lists only 3 qualifications for presidency. The president must be at least 35 years of age, be a natural-born citizen, and must have lived in the United States for at least 14 years. So I guess you can be in prison and run for president.
Yeah, I guess if you could raise the amount of capital that it would take to run the campaign, I guess they can't stop you.
It's sick, man.
Yeah, but that whole process.
But if you get locked up for anything else in the world, then everything is taken from you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but
can't protect your family. You know,
but you can still run the country.
Yeah. Something is really wrong with that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Country is run by criminals anyway, so I mean,
it's a fact.
Stretch.
Right.
That's a fact, man. Yeah, and like J. Bob said, although I'm not a big fan of Trump, I'm being objective. I watched that whole press conference, man, and it seemed fugazi.
Exactly.
It just seemed fugazi. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do believe the fact that they actually had to put on this whole show and had to lock down New York City to an extent that there's enough for them to possibly stop him from running for president again. I believe that there's something that's going to jack him up there.
I don't believe it. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't believe it. Because we have no footage of what's happening in the courtroom. When OJ went to trial, you heard everything that was said, whispers, everything. Trump going here for an indictment. You hear they kick all the cameras out. No regular people is in there. Something ain't right.
But do you think that's because
I think he chose that?
Yeah. Well, I thought he wanted the cameras and everything, but I believe they probably did that because like we're not going to give this guy this much, you know, attention. If you want to say that.
If anything, you make it more of a conspiracy for the fact that you don't know what happened inside that room. You don't know what was said. You really don't know what the indictment is.
I think they should open it up to the public more than anybody else because he is the president. Well, he was the president. I think they should open his up.
I'm just saying, like, if criminal trials can be put on TV, why not this?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and then, to go back to my other point, this is according to the New York Times, right? It says, any indictment or conviction would not bar Mr. Trump from running. A clean criminal record is not among the criteria of the Constitution set for who is eligible to be president. Officials who have been impeached and convicted of high crimes and misdemeanors may be barred from future office, but the Senate acquitted Mr. Trump at both his impeachment trials, so he can still run.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Good to be the king. And again, I think it's all a political scam just to muddy his name before the campaign. The crazy thing about that is I don't think his base cares.
Well, whether he go to prison or not?
I think if he goes to prison, I don't think his base cares.
I think it'll be more popular.
I do.
I think it'll be more popular.
And if he walks out of this and not get arrested or if he walks out of this move, it'll make him stronger. Either way, I believe it's still going to be a good thing for him.
If this trial, starts in December, around the time, I guess, election time, I think his numbers will go up.
It's sad to say.
It's sad to say. I believe his numbers will go up. And I mean, this is something that we definitely going to keep an eye on because I think this whole martyr complex that he's about to play, he might want to see himself right back in the White House.
I don't believe in America, man.
I don't believe in America.
I don't believe America. I believe anything that's corrupt and disgusting can be processed here with no problem, man. Yeah. And I believe I don't believe in it, man. I don't have that kind of faith.
I feel
not in America.
Yeah, I feel the same way. If you got enough money and you got the right complexion for the connection, anything's possible.
This just the fact off of this whole stipulation here. What do you tell the babies? If you go to jail, if you go to prison, you can actually be president.
This is the reality of the world.
You can actually be president. You tell them you can't get a job, you can't do this, but you can run for president.
You can't get a job. You'll never be able to protect your family again, but you can run for president if you can get the money.
What do we tell kids, man?
You know what's so funny? What's so funny about that is that all black kids already know this is a sham, man. I mean,
hey, you know what though? That's
probably messing up some white children.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not true. There are some black kids that they may have a different race for parents, but they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They don't know.
It's two Americas, brother.
Yeah.
Two Americas.
Listen, man. I know the kids in Brooklyn and in Philadelphia and California, in Compton and whatever like that. They're probably sitting there looking like this is what it is, man.
Yeah, it's par for the course. We know what it is.
This is what it is to be president. All right, y'all. So
let me say this before we go and get off this topic. Proud Boys, where y'all at? Where y'all at, man? You gotta show me something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Come on now. I know y'all ain't scared.
So you saying that Alvin Bragg is pump faking right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on up here and get some.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who ain't gonna be pump faking is old Fannie. Fannie Willis is on his back. Fannie Willis said, "I'm locking up presidents, rappers, anybody I can get my hands on."
Yeah, she just went public. She just went public.
Yeah. Oh, listen, let me tell you something about Fannie. Fannie is on your back.
Fannie is on your back.
Fannie's on your back. Fannie trying to be the next. I don't know what a position she's trying for, but she's gonna get it.
She probably want attorney. She probably trying to be attorney general.
Talk about stepping on people's necks to get ahead.
That's
Fannie will step on your neck, kick you in your back, whatever you want to do.
Look, we already talked about this, but I got to get your thoughts just because you made that statement. But do you think she was wrong about the YSL thing?
Yeah.
Let's just go back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she knows she's wrong. That's the crazy part about it. But this is bad. This is the more bad part about it, right? See, we as black people, we've been so conditioned that it's just the way it is. They're gonna trump your charges up, and you just got to deal with it. No, that ain't right. I'm not saying that brother didn't have no criminal history. They didn't do whatever it is that they did, but to lock him up like that and throw RICO on him is ridiculous. That's corny.
Yeah, I think that I think the stuff that they're doing with these RICO cases, man, this is not a criminal enterprise.
At all. It's not organized crime.
It's not organized crime, man. And I think they've taken this RICO stuff and gotten crazy with it. It's now you got kids in New York that's saying they blood in some gang or whatever the case may be. They lock up 50 of them and call it a RICO case. And they ain't doing nothing. Don't get me wrong. They are doing crime. Some of them are doing crime.
Some of them.
Yeah, but not everybody's doing crime.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Some of them are just in the neighborhood.
Some just in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And a lot of them probably just chumps that wanted to get down to keep from being harassed every day.
Yeah, when they trying to go to school, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, I believe she's going a little crazy with it. But
if it's so much, if they running around and doing all these RICO cases. Why they ain't put RICOs on the mob? The mob still is a real thing. Why they ain't put RICOs on the MX-13s? That's a real thing.
But I think one thing I have to give it this is that I think one thing that our children do wrong is they're plastering their crime all up over internet and social media. I don't see that with the mob, especially not in this day and age, and I don't see that too much. Even with the Mexicans, I don't see it too much.
Yeah, but we not really plugged into whatever their network is. The only thing that we see is people that look like us that's in the entertainment or whatever the case may be, and their information that's everywhere. I mean,
but I think everybody's saying it. I mean, like, you know, like the elders, like myself, yourself. Everybody's telling these kids, man, get off of these cameras, man. I don't want you to do no crime at all.
Yeah,
stay away from crime.
If you're going to do it, don't do it on camera, dummy.
Yeah, you're a dummy if you're doing it on camera. And I think that's the problem with us is, you know, a lot of these kids want to be, you know, they want to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Half of them want to be rappers. The other half want to be gangsters. You know what I mean? And it's not going to work. You know what I mean? So, and again, you might just start it like these guys, YSL, you might start a business. You know, it's a group, it's an entertainment company or whatever the case may be, but it's a bunch of gangsters running around with the same tattoos on. You know what I mean? So again, when they get jammed up, everybody gonna get jammed up. You know, so unfortunately, I don't like the way I don't like what she did with that. But another thing too, man, you know, I think Fanny being, you know, who she is, man. A lot of times you're just watching these kids and you're like, yo, man, maybe her thought process, I got to do something. You know what I mean? To deter.
It's so much more that you could do. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the school of why not, right? So I look at people like Fanny, and like she's making a name off of black pain, and I dig it. They did whatever it is they did, whatever the case may be, but it's a lot of other things that you could be focusing those resources on. All the school shootings, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. All these pedophiles, the way they just snatching these kids up. You know, I was in Texas a couple weeks ago, right? Like every 30 minutes it was a Amber Alert. They just snatching kids like that.
Well, sex trafficking and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so you have all of these real issues in the world, and y'all focusing on rappers and their lyrics, trying to come up with a case. You ain't actually got nothing. You trying to build something from somebody's lyrics.
Let
me ask you this question though. But if let's say for instance, and I'm not saying I agree with it. Like again, I'm done with it. I don't agree with it at all. But let's say for instance, if this case that she puts down on these guys like YSL, and it comes around and we find out that it deters crime and stuff like that, you know, in her state.
It's not.
Was it worth it?
It's not.
No.
Let's be honest.
I'm just asking, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's be honest. It's not. The criminal element in the street is always going to be there, no matter what. No matter what. Whenever you have people that don't have, and then you got people that got, you always going to have crime, no matter what you do.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that, but I believe that. I do believe that sometimes, and I'm not saying in this case, I do believe that sometimes you can hit a person in the head with some charges so bad that, you know, I'm not going to say it's going to stop crime, but it'll be like, wait a minute.
For them, they might sit down. They might sit down, but then you're going to have the next one that come up right after them. How come these black attorneys and everything don't bring America up on charges? That's where the real organized crime is. Let's be honest.
I believe that. Yeah, I'm not going to knock it.
But that's never going to happen. We don't really want to deal with a real issue. We want to act like we're doing something, but the only thing we actually doing is causing our own people more pain.
Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next joint. You know what I mean? All just so we throw that out there. That's actually a good topic for another time. You know what I mean? Let's go into the LSU situation, fellas. Versus the Iowa Hawkeyes.
First of all, let me say this.
Yeah.
I watched the game. Never been really a women's basketball fan. Kind of might have watched it when Dawn Staley, was in the Olympics a long time ago. Mm-hmm. But I tuned in to see Caitlin. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I wanted to see if she really was as advertised.
The white Steph Curry.
Yes, that's what that was the same information I got. The white Steph Curry. I'm like, white Steph Curry. That's big praise.
Yeah.
Let me see what it is. Uh-huh. And yes, she is good. Definitely is good. I can't front.
You know what's funny? I actually tuned into it, man. I fell asleep, in it, but I was dipping back and forth. That's my fault. But this fact that I actually even watched women's basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
Is a big, huge credit to the advertisement of it, to the two individuals that were supposed to go to war that day.
Yeah. You know, to jump in, women's college basketball. It's not always a WNBA game.
Well, women's college basketball has always been more interesting than the WNBA.
Yeah, most definitely. But it's just like, you know, it's just most people don't watch unless you're a fan or you go to that school. Most people don't watch it. But and I'm not being mean. It's the truth. It's facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I tuned in Friday when they played South Carolina because you know Dawn Staley, Philadelphia's own. Shout out to Dawn.
Yep.
Doing a great job down there in South Carolina. If I'm not mistaken, her team was undefeated, and they was playing Caitlin in the first matchup in the Final Four. So I wanted to see, and I seen the girl Caitlin. She had all the swag in the world.
That's what she gave the John Cena out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And she flagged the girl off like, you can't shoot. You know how you doing? You can't shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Left her open all night long. I was like, ooh.
All right, well, the LSU, the game, and as everybody knew, the final score was 102-85. LSU, Iowa 85. Now, if you want to talk personal stats, right? They said that that Angel had 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and only played 29 minutes. Now, Caitlin, on the other hand, said that she had 30 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, and played 35 minutes. However, we see what the end result was of that. And not to mention, it was like some cash money trash talking going on.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Actually, let me tell you something, man. They brought something back to sports that's been missing. Man.
Absolutely.
Sports that's been missing, man. It's been missing out of the NBA. Even in the NBA, like if they do it, it's like it's one-sided. It's too polite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they brought something back to sports that people. Let me tell you something. Them two girls ought to do. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out here right now, man.
All right.
And I think you already told me they can't do it, but I'm telling you, the WNBA need to find a way to get one of them in the West, one of them in the East, and get them out of college as soon as possible.
Now,
yeah, they both coming back next year.
They coming back next year because Jay, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, isn't the WNBA requires their players to have some type of degree? Like, they have to graduate school, if I'm correct.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Like, I've heard this. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't watch it enough.
yeah, right.
It all rewards some research. So, you know, that's what
But here's the point,
heard
man.
that some time ago.
That's the new Larry and Magic, man. That's the new Larry and Magic, man. Because the WNBA has been trying to, you know, get that whole thing going for a while. I think these two young girls have showed them in the NBA how to do it.
Okay, what it says is that the league requires domestic draft entrants to be at least 22 years old, in which the draft takes place, to have no remaining college eligibility or renounce any future college eligibility. So no, they don't have to have a degree.
Okay.
But they got to be 22, right?
They got to be 22.
Caitlin's 21
or turning 22 during that year.
So Caitlin's 21 and Angela is, or Angel, if she want to call her.
Angel, she's 20.
She's 20. So, yeah. So, I mean, I stand corrected because I heard.
They need to get out of it. Listen, they don't need to risk another year in college basketball. Who knows what that season might turn out to be? They might not be as successful. They need to get them kids in.
But that's what's going to be my next thing. Do you just think this is a wave? Like, everybody have a good day at the office, everybody have a bad day at the office?
Nah. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I tuned in specifically for Caitlin. You know, I wanted to see South Carolina. I wanted to see Angel too, but Caitlin had a 40-point triple-double. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hooping is hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a 40-point triple-double. You're doing something out there.
Right.
You know? So I wanted to see.
I tell you what, too, man. And I know Jay probably, we all understand this, man. That LSU team, not just the girl Angel, man, but that LSU team gave you that UNLV vibe.
Yeah.
It gave you that Fab Five. Slammer Jammer vibe, man.
Like I was saying, man, I watched the South Carolina game, and what I noticed from South Carolina is they really couldn't shoot. You know what I'm saying? They could hoop, you know, 'cause they had talent, but they couldn't shoot. They ain't had nobody else that could shoot. When I watched LSU, man, it's a whole different ball game.
they clamp down on that defense.
Yeah, them girls out there, they got crazy handles. They going to the cup. They got fadeaways. They got one dribble pull ups. I'm like, oh,
you know what?
Dog.
Imagine this is just step into the space for a second, man. If you took all of them plus their coach, was it Moki?
Milky?
Yeah,
something like that.
Well, you know, her flamboyant style, man. She actually is doing something that you don't see too many coaches do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's like carved the whole style for herself, like the way she dressed and all that stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if they actually had a team in the WNBA?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Just take all of them and just go to some city that don't have a team. You know what I mean?
It might be New Orleans for real. Go down there and put a girl team down there. It seems that they got a lot of that energy. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of them cities down south would carry that same energy from the women if they put those basketball teams down there.
Yeah, they need something that's going to electrify this whole thing.
Absolutely.
But their coaches are cut from the cloth for the Jimmy Johnsons and the John Maddens, man.
Yeah.
We don't care what you do Monday through Friday, as long as you show up for this game, Monday through Saturday, as long as you show up to this game and get busy, you know, as long as you ain't get arrested or, you know what I mean? So she letting them kids do whatever they want to do. Although I don't agree with all that shaking your behind on TikTok every minute with all them little girls from LSU and, you know, but, you know,
they teenage girls who work on their body all day long. Like, you should expect that. And it's not like they don't have clothes on. I could see you having a bigger issue with girls that, you know, be actually not having no clothes. They got shorts on, man. They got t-shirts on.
Watch
they having fun.
Watch a switch up order. Watch a switch up. It was your daughter, you wouldn't mind?
let me explain something to you.
Let me explain
something. My daughter's not playing basketball.
Good save there, Jay. Good save, Jay. Sliding in the home, yo.
Yeah, man. It's your daughter, man. You be like, oh no, man, we can't get on here shaking and all that.
But you got to remember, right? Like I was watching these games. I'm like, the black girls got on eyelashes and, you know, the fingernails is done. Didn't none of the Caucasian girls in Iowa had no lashes on? Mm-hmm. They had no nails, no makeup.
Well, like she said in the interview that she wanted to, like, she said she know that people call her hood and all that stuff like that comes along with it, but she said that and this is Angel talking, that she wanted to be that person that girls from her hood can look at and say, you know, I see myself.
Yeah, Angel from Baltimore. Like,
no, she's not from Baltimore. She's from Maryland, some part of Maryland.
No, I think she is from Baltimore.
I don't know. I was looking at her stuff today. No. But y'all go ahead.
I want to say she says she's from Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very similar to the Fab Five putting on the long shorts,
right? The
black socks. You know what I mean? It's like once we saw that, you know, in my generation, once we saw that, we was like, oh, they like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they doing something that we did in the park. You know what I mean? So,
let me jump in for a second. She's from Randallstown, Maryland, but she went she attended St. Francis Academy in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Close enough. Yeah.
Oh, you got to go anywhere near there. You get affected in Baltimore. Yeah. Baltimore is probably the most ratchet city I've ever been at in the world.
It's a whole fact.
Call it what you want, man.
Hey, if Cleveland was bigger, Cleveland would be like Baltimore.
The force is strong with this one tonight. Yeah, right. But it's like, it is very ratchet. She calls herself the Bayou Barbie. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the important thing is the whole John Cena shake thing, man. That everybody is
listen, man.
Shout out to LSU for winning the championship and balling. They set a record. They set an NCAA record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, all right, we got to play. You know, definitely got to hit them with that. But that's what happened. They balled out. And we didn't we go to Iowa one time? We went to Iowa.
Yeah,
Hawkeye, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And
I think we're the only two black people there.
Yeah. It's a spot that
we pulled up the population another 5%.
And I don't know if you ever seen the Iowa Hawkeye campus. It ain't nothing out there but bars and wing spots. That's the whole campus is bars and wing spots. They got some banging wings though. I give them that.
I happen to pass through there, stop at the Iowa 80.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been through there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes, Yeah. So I can understand them being, all behind old girl.
But it's trash. The sad part about it is that, when they get to the trash talking and all that other stuff like that, man, it's like, trash talking, man, comes from a long list of great players, man.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
And, Larry.
If you can't back it up, Michael, you can't talk it.
Michael.
That's it.
All of the great players, man. You know what I mean? Even we ain't gonna talk about college basketball. I mean, there's college basketball problems that were so bad that it went over into the NBA. I remember when Larry Johnson and Alonzo got into it in the NBA in a NCAA game, in the playoffs, whatever, in the tournament. And when they said they met each other, and I think in Charlotte or something like that, they still was like looking at each other like, "Yo, is it all right now?" They on the same team, man.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie. I think it was like, was it Thursday? Thursday they showed a clip of Caitlin telling the girl, "Stop talking, you down 15." And I was like, "Oh."
Well, that's the thing. Stephen A. said this. No, J-Rod's man. Stephen A. He basically was saying that if, she was on the other foot, and I'm paraphrasing it, and Caitlin was talking that big trash, would there be an issue?
No, it wouldn't be.
But that's the thing.
But she did do it.
When she was talking, nobody said nothing. Dawn Stilly actually addressed that Saturday after her team lost. Like, yo, y'all allow certain things where certain people can do whatever, and then if we carry it the same way, we thugs and we bad for the game and things of that nature.
Well, the pregame for that game, when they were talking about this game, man, the hype of this game all this week was, that it was going to be some trash talking in it. You know what I mean? So they expected to go anyway different. You know what I mean? And then you add Baltimore into it, man. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, this is my thing, though. Honestly, I loved it. I love to see
it was beautiful, man.
Competitors compete. I loved it. It wasn't like they was trying to box. They hooping.
And Caitlin apparently didn't have no problem with it because she want everybody to lay off of Angel Reese. Now, I don't mean to cut you off, but you go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I was going to say too, man, and what this girl Angel is doing, man, is something that is not done anymore on, on these sports channels. I think, ESPN and some of these different sports channels don't know how to promote this stuff no more. Remember when I was a kid, man, before I watched the game for Philly, even for Georgetown, I knew who Allen Iverson was. They took you to Virginia to see who Allen Iverson was. They took you to Coney Island to see who Stephon Marbury was. And what this kid is doing is on social media, she letting you know, I'm from Baltimore. She taking you through her whole trip through Baltimore. You know what I mean? So I think she's opening up something that, that people forgot about. She's a character now. They don't have characters.
A personality.
Yeah,
personality.
Yeah. It's a girl from Delaware. I think her name is Flage or something like that. Oh, my bad. She's from Savannah, Georgia. No, my bad.
All right.
But she has a big social media following. She's a artist, like a rapper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's the way that these kids get down now. They have they whole outside of the game activities.
Yeah.
And being able to promote yourself on social media is their biggest activity.
And we'll see this young lady's outside activity, I'm quite sure.
And again, I think she's teaching these old people, these so-called new networks, these new sports networks, how to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, where it's like, I'm taking you to my hood. I'm going to show you where I'm from. So now, before, for a long time, you've been watching basketball and especially college basketball, and you've been watching it and you're like, I don't even know where this person is from. I don't know nothing about her. anything like that? Because they just put on they put on multiple games, and they're not really, introducing you to the personality. Like, we knew who Larry Johnson was.
Yeah,
we knew who Chris Webber. We knew who Jalen Rose was. We knew these guys before they ever even showed us too much on the court. We knew who Shaq was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So again, I think she's showing them how to promote.
They usually did give you some type of story about a star, you know what I mean, something he went through his life, where he from, you know what I'm saying, to try to build up his character as a person. So you look at him and you're rooting for him. You get a rooting interest for a person once you feel like you kind of know them a little.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I liken her to kind of like Sha'Carri Richardson was before she, got messed up with the whole weed thing, which ironically is legalized now. But she got all messed up behind that. And she was trying to create herself as a personality. I mean, it was her personality. It was who she was. But you know what I mean? Like, you was kind of bringing some type of electricity to the, if I can say that, electricity, to the track and field game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as far as sports now, they don't know how to promote it.
Yeah.
It's so much of it that they don't know how to promote it. It's like
but what they don't know how to promote is a black person being unapologetically black. That's what they don't know how to promote. That's what they're scared of.
Yep. As a matter of fact, speaking of scared, Keith Olbermann, who, respected as a journalist. Everybody got a bad day at the office, man.
I don't know. That sound like, we love you, Dave.
Yeah. Way to call it out. No, we don't love you like that. Nah. I respect the man journalism.
Not like that. Not in regards to the comment.
Not in regards to this comment. Not in regards to the comment. Yeah, this was, listen, this was bad. This was real bad, and he didn't get no pass for that. But he called this young lady and I quote, effing idiot and classless. This is a 20-year-old young lady.
Man, just won a championship. Man.
Just won a championship. It ain't like she got the trophy and started twerking or something like that. She, that's classless. That's like, you know what I mean? That's a little crass. But she wasn't doing any stuff like this. You know what I mean? She did what any person who win a championship might do. If Tom Brady, was on the field and he was talking trash like this or whatever, would he be classless?
Yeah, listen.
You know what I mean?
They got there's whole YouTube videos back upon back where they like just put them back to back and they're telling stories of Larry Bird's great trash talking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And everybody talks about Larry Bird like he's the best thing that ever came on a basketball court. You know what I mean? And they got, come on, man. Trash talking is a part of the game, man. It is what it is.
Well,
Keith Olbermann's a nut.
Yeah, he is. And he tweeted that during the game, but now he's, backpedaling because everybody's on his back. He apologized for it.
They on his back.
This is the thing for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I guess it's obvious, but white people become so offended when black people do great, especially if in the midst of their greatness they defeat a white person. Now they true feelings really come out. They start referring to you like you're not human, and they have that type of attitude like, you should just be grateful we allow you to play this sport. And like, it's so ridiculous to me that in 2023, this is still the narrative. We still talking about this.
I don't want to indict the whole race, but I do think there's a large portion of Caucasian people that feel like, like, why you can't talk back to me, that kind of thing, where it's like you're not able to talk back to me.
Because you're not a person, or we used to own you, nigga. So it's like it's ridiculous, and it really shows you, especially with that liberal community, where their mindset really is. They may act like you're accepted as long as you benefit them. You know what I mean? But the minute you step out of whatever box they put you in, it's a problem.
Well, this is what his apology sounded like. And, it's real haphazard to me, to be honest with you. I think that it was something he just slapped together. I apologize. I'm quoting this from Keith Olbermann. I apologize for being uninformed last night about the backstory on this. I don't follow hoops, college or pro, men or women. I had no idea about Clark. Both were wrong. Now, listen, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Keith Olbermann like a also a sports analyst?
Yeah, I think it was a sports analyst.
Yeah, so like, what do you mean you don't follow hoops, college, or pro?
Front.
But I think I don't know.
Keith
was like football more. So I don't know. Maybe he don't know.
I mean, you're dancing in the circle. I mean, unless
Keith Urban he did baseball. He did sports.
Yeah, I thought he did more than that. But because now he's uninformed at the fact that Clark was talking trash.
Who's more disrespectful than football when they get off on you? You know what I mean?
Hold on, let me say this. Let me say this. That game was the most watched college basketball game ever, right? Had like 10 million views or something from women.
Might have been more than that, actually.
So you mean to tell me if 10 million people are actually watching this in front of their TV, everybody knows about this. This is big. Like I said, I actually tuned in. I don't watch no women's college basketball, but I tuned in because of the things that I was seeing, the highlights that I was seeing of this chick Caitlin, the white female Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? And what she was actually doing. So everybody knew what time it was.
Well, the thing that's crazy, Jay, is the fact that why you comment on something that you're not informed about?
Exactly.
So if you didn't watch it or whatever, you probably watched a clip or a highlight, then why would you even?
What he saw was.
It actually made him sound stupid.
Yeah, exactly. What he saw was, that's why I said what I said, but what he saw was that that big tall black woman and the black team, dominating them white girls, and they didn't like that.
Very well.
Tell you what, man, the one we need to get on is the Dave Portnoy. Is it Portnoy guy? The one that owns Barstool Sports. Yeah, he's a complete nut job.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a complete nut job. I guess we'll never get a Barstool Sports.
yeah, right. This the thing, right? Like where Keith Olbermann, although we don't believe his apology, this cat is so ignorant and so entitled that he don't even have the gumption to be like, yo, I was out of pocket right there.
He don't.
He comes from that Joe Rogan school of thought where it's like, you don't want to apologize for anything or something like that. Not to mention, I hear that there's a couple of things that he's done, because I don't follow him like that until this whole situation. And I've read up on a couple of things that he's done prior to this that's actually worse than this. You know what I mean? So, and he hasn't apologized for those things.
And he called her a classless piece of ass. Yeah. They do realize he's a 20-year-old female. This is a 20-year-old. This is a kid.
I just thought about this, right? We've all been to sporting events before, and we see how they act to the opposite team at these sporting events, right? And as long as it's our team, we don't care. We laugh, chuckle. It's funny, right? But we know that this is the way that they act. And we just bypass it. This shouldn't surprise us at all.
But would this same energy be here if this was a professional male basketball?
Yes, it would be even more.
Would you think so?
Yeah.
I don't.
You talking about trash talking in sports?
No, not trash talking. I'm talking about the energy that they're getting from the Obermans and the Portnoys.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think they would shut their mouth.
Yeah, I don't think they would mess with no.
I think they would shut their mouth.
Let me.
Go ahead.
Because the reason why I say this, because pros come different.
Pros come different.
You're gonna say, you're not saying that about John Morant. You ain't gonna say that about a lot of these cats. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
that's not true. I don't believe that. I think if it was a little white dude that happened to be good, and he started getting dominated by better players or a different team or whatever, I think they would have the same type of vitriol.
That happens.
I believe that.
Happens every year.
That happens every night in the NBA.
Because the guys ain't that good. But if it was one, if there was one, if they attached that great white hype, nah.
They got Luka. Luka is the great white hype, man.
Yeah, but Luka's not American. Luka's not American.
Okay. Yeah, I guess, man.
Let it be an American.
I'm trying to think, man. They got some decent white boys out there.
Not a lot, but I'm just saying in general, like, if this was Steph Curry that did this, you know what I mean?
Well, again,
would it be a part of the game, or would it be like, all right, well, he's a classless so-and-so?
Man, Steph Curry shoots the ball in the air and walks away from it. Don't nobody say nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody say nothing. But if this was that same energy be there if it was male basketball.
Well, again, I think that's what they were saying. Like, not only is this kind of racist, it's kind of like sexist. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say sexist and put that above the racism of it all, because I almost don't even want to say the two, because it's more racism than anything. You know what I mean? And it's completely, because again, if that was like you said, man, if there was two white girls going at it, nobody would have a problem at it.
Because it's a basketball game.
If this was male college basketball, I don't think the energy would be there.
That type of energy shouldn't be involved in a basketball game. But like I said, it's the same thing at the pro events, war college events, when you go to them. These Caucasians, for the most part, they have a certain attitude that they direct towards the players. And if it's your team, you accept it as ha ha ha. This is what's supposed to happen. No, it's not.
All right. So in an attempt to get Jay more fired up.
Shout out to the goofy Jill Biden.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Goofy Jill Biden.
Yeah.
Now she want to give out participation trophies now, man.
Jill Biden. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
If it was South Carolina or LSU that lost that game, you think Jill would have been like, "Hey, why don't y'all come on down to the White House too?" No.
The loser never comes to the White House.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, she wanted to invite both NCAA women's basketball.
The winner and the loser.
The winner and the loser.
Again, shout out to Caitlin for declining this invitation.
Yeah, we got to give a applaud that. Because, I mean, she had to do it.
Yeah.
She just had to do it.
Let me tell you about Caitlin, man. And again, I only seen her maybe one time, man, but she got that Larry Bird in her, man. You know what I mean? That kind of defiance, man. I kind of like that kind of stuff, man.
I do too, bro.
Kind of like it, man.
You recognize a dog when you see it. Yeah.
She's a pit bull, man.
Yeah, no matter what shape it's in, you know what it look like.
Well,
you got to respect it.
Caitlin is like Kobe watching that confetti come out the what's the name and taking the L. Like, all right, I'm gonna be here next year.
She had Kobe's on.
You know what I'm saying? The white mama.
White mama. So I think honestly that when this could mean a lot for NCAA women's basketball, because if they come around this time next year with this same thing, the intensity going to be up there. It's going to be all the way up
there. These
there.
girls are losing a lot of. Look at them, man. If these girls are able to get out the NBA, man, I'm telling you. Get out of the college basketball. Head to that money, man. Because I'm telling you right now,
it ain't no money. They get paid like $40,000.
No, what's funny? Here's the point. Here's the point.
Entry level. Yeah.
Here's the point, man. The same thing happened in the NBA with Magic and Bird, man. It wasn't getting paid no big money coming out of college back then. But when they went to the West, one went to the East, the rest is history, man. It built up the NBA, man. These are the two cats that they need, man. This might be the beginning. You know what I mean?
Might be, but
because it ain't going nowhere anywhere else.
I know we went off a little bit, but
I wouldn't go to a game if you gave me the tickets, man.
Let me get back to Jill, bro.
Box seat.
Hey, I don't know, man. When next year, when one of them Joanna mans come out, start drop stepping, dunking, you might start looking.
Hey, man.
You know what? That's a topic for a whole other show. I had a thought when you said that, and I'm like, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I ain't gonna say nothing about it.
It's real.
So we get one show without talking about this goofy art.
It'd be like, you ever watch the Ladies Man when he was sitting there sweating on the microphone, trying not to say nothing? It's like you just opened that door. So with that said, I'm gonna get back to Jill, because Jill, apparently want to give out participation trophies, participation invites to the White House. So this is what Jill Biden had to say. This is coming from CNN.
I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So, we'll have LSU come. But you know what? I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too, because they played such a good game. So, right? So winners and losers, that's sportsmanship. That's good sportsmanship.
No, Jill. Huh? No, that's not sportsmanship. Jill's crazy.
Huh?
It was nuts.
Again, if it was one of them sisters, South Carolina or LSU, you think Jill would have had that same energy?
Let me tell you something. My stocks is going down. My 401k is in the trash. And Jill is talking to Joe in the middle of the night about what's going on in LSU and Iowa. You got to be crazy, man.
Meanwhile, you never roll over and say, "Hey, Joe, you think you want to help them people out in Haiti that's getting murdered out there and raped?"
What about this gas, Joe?
Yeah, milk's
$5 a gallon, Joe. What's going on?
I'm saying well, you crazy?
Yeah.
Eggs is $7.50 for a dozen, Joe. Like, can we get some relief?
Orange juice is cheaper than gas.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is the thing, right? So
Jill is crazy.
Jill come out and she make that statement, right? And it's like the average people don't even understand what she's doing. She playing to the Iowa contingent, caucus. Right? Yeah. Because the caucus is coming up.
Caucus is coming up. Yep.
Right. So basically, she's not even thorough enough to be straight up with her people, with her base. Like, hey, you know what? It would even sound better if she would say, you know what? We gotta make some hay in Iowa. So come on down or whatever. Or we're going to come out there and visit y'all and see, how we do it and see if we can, do something. She could have did something, but the way that she just did it, it just make her sound, or it sounds real arrogant.
The sad part about it is they know this. They think about this before they do it. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is arrogant.
When she threw it out there, it's more like a check to see where it's at.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't think they'll do it now. Well, I mean, obviously, the young girl turned it down, but I don't think they would have did it anyway. Cause,
both young girls turned it down. It was like, no.
But the sister got right at Angel got right at it real quick. And
she
and
like,
you're talking to Angel.
Ain't no reason for us to be here.
You talking to Angel? Angel looked like a future no voter registration card person. Angel was anti-establishment, man. So she went right at Jill Biden. Like, here, take that.
I do y'all another one too, man. I add on what you said. Also, it sends a bad message out to the youth today. This participation trophy thing is crazy. You can still, be a loser and come to the White House on top of being a felon and be president. How about that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But again, that only happens if you got the complexion for the connection.
Hey, let me tell you. I tell you my story before, man. When my son, man, he was on the basketball team. They was playing one time. They went up 30 points and went to halftime, and they switched the score back to 0-0. I was the only person out there losing my mind. I was like, what the heck is going on out here? The referee said to me, nah, man, because they're beating them too bad. I said, what?
It don't go like that.
What?
We can end this game and play another one.
Almost took him out the tournament, man. Get the heck out of here, man. What are y'all doing, man?
That's ridiculous.
That was lost his build character, man.
Yeah. It puts you back on that court. Go ahead and work. You've been in the middle of the night out there shooting around.
Hey, Michael Jordan, he didn't make his junior team. He didn't make junior.
He got cut. He got cut as a freshman. Yeah.
The man went home and went ape on that dirt basketball court in his mom's house. It became who he became, man, because it builds character.
Sat on the bench in college till they gave him a shot.
That's facts.
One shot to blow. You know how that go.
Well, he was actually down with James Worthy and
Sam Perkins.
Sam Perkins, Kitty. Yeah, he had some bowlers with that joint.
Yeah, all right, y'all. We're going to wrap this up, though.
Big Smooth, Sam Perkins.
But
man.
Participation trophies and visits to the White House is a joke.
Not in our
Hey,
house.
one more time, man. Shout out to the ladies at Iowa Hawkeyes and the ladies at LSU, and just overall all the girls that was balling in that tournament, because they actually had brothers that won't never watch that tune into that. So definitely salute and respect to them.
It's a good show.
Yep. But I don't care what team they play for. I'm not wearing a Caitlin or an Angel jersey.
Never.
No.
I don't even. Yeah.
It's for somebody.
I buy it for my daughter or something. Yeah,
it's for somebody, but it's not for me.
That's like driving in a car with a bunch of brothers listening to slow jams.
everybody quiet.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
Yeah, y'all crazy. Let's get out of here. Oh, by the way, breaking news. They said Trump is about to make a statement, so we might have to get back on that. All right? Be ready for that. Get your pen and your pads ready. The only one
go, here we come.
Yeah, right? The Only One Mic podcast is available on all major platforms that you stream your podcasts on. Also, check out our Only One Mic podcast YouTube channel to catch up with past and current episodes. Don't forget to rate the show and subscribe, folks. Also, if you'd like to get in contact with the Only One Mic podcast, we're on Instagram and Twitter at the Only One Mic P1, Facebook and LinkedIn at the Only One Mic podcast, and you can email us at the onlyonemic00@gmail.com. And there you can leave your comments. We thank you once again for your time, everybody. And we encourage you to speak your truth quietly and clearly and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant, because they too have their story to tell. So until next time, please keep in mind that we never had to run from the Ku Klux Klan, so we shouldn't have to run from our black man. Peace.
Peace.